Is Irish a dead language? And why do we use Irish Gaeilge when we're working with the Ogham, the ancient Irish alphabet? Might seem obvious, but it is a question I get asked a lot here at the Ogham Academy. So I thought I would just do a quick video today and answer it. My name is Lora O'Brien. I'm the founder of the Ogham Academy and I have an MA in Irish history on the topic of the Ogham. So the Irish language, which is known as Gaeilge, some people call it Irish Gaelic, but just please note Irish people don't do that. It is Gaeilge in the Irish language. So it stands as a testament to the rich history and vibrant culture of Ireland. It is a very ancient tongue. So it's part of the Celtic language family, which would be alongside Scottish Gaelic and Manx. And it has been a cornerstone of the Irish identity for many, many generations, resonating with the spirit, heart, and soul of speakers, both in Ireland and across the globe. As many of you know, we have diaspora all over the world, and the Irish language is retained and spoken in many, many corners of the world still. Now, despite the challenges that we have faced, which I'll go into in a minute, Gaeilge remains this living, evolving language. It's not stagnant. It's not, enshrined in a museum somewhere. It is a living, breathing part of our culture. And it's deeply intertwined within Irish heritage, Irish traditions, and it's increasingly embraced by worldwide learners, not just here in Ireland, although we are experiencing a huge upsurge of learners here as well. So we're going to explore a little bit about the historical resilience, the cultural significance, and the contemporary revival of Gaeilge, offering insights into its learning resources. And again, making a case, I suppose, for why it's so important as part of your own studies. So the historical resilience of Gaeilge is actually quite extraordinary. This language has journeyed through millennia, thousands and thousands of years, and has, as I said, displayed extraordinary resilience. So we have the earliest, I suppose, recorded versions would be primitive Irish, and that would be in Ogham. Ogham was developed to express the sounds of what's known academically as primitive Irish. And the earliest dating that we can, I suppose, categorically give this would be the 300s to the 500s Common Era. And then, it developed up through many, many different stages through to modern Irish from the 1200s onwards. And throughout all those time periods, the language has withstood colonization, the absolute wiping out or attempted wiping out of the language of our people, socio-political upheaval, war, revolution, all of that stuff, and many predictions of its demise through centuries. People have been saying for centuries that the Irish language is dead, that it's dying, that nobody wants to speak it anymore, that it's hated, that it's barbaric, that it really has been denigrated to a phenomenal extent. And yet, remarkably, despite this kind of perfect sociolinguistic storm of challenges, so other languages globally have absolutely faced some of these challenges, but here in Ireland we had this perfect storm of challenges, which included, as mentioned, colonization, enforced low status, and huge emigration, upheaval, famine, the death of half our population, just a huge amount of challenges, as I said. And despite all of this, Gaeilge has preserved its vitality. The Irish people have preserved the Irish language here on the island. And I mean, you can make a case for it being preserved in pockets around the world, and that's all well and good, but we're talking about here on the island, and it is absolutely not dead. It is absolutely preserved and living and thriving right here. So contrary to views of it as a dead language, which again are thrown around, we were doing a master's in, as I mentioned, in Irish history, and a secondary school teacher who was one of my fellow students stated during, I'm still actually shocked by this, stated during one of our classes that sure, Irish is a dead language. And when you're faced with that from our own educators, there is obviously a lot at work against the language here. And I mean, you're going to hear it all over the world, but to hear it from our own, to hear it from one of our own educators, to hear it from somebody who's literally pursuing a master's in Irish history was absolutely shocking to me. I shouldn't be shocked, but there we are. Now, Irish people have a very weird relationship with our own language. All of this being said, because of the aforementioned challenges, because it has been denigrated to such an extent that it has been bet into us that this is not a good thing, that our language is not a good thing. We literally carry that trauma on a cellular level. So that might explain, why I was shocked during my master's class. But this is an ongoing struggle, but it's a struggle that the language is winning. And it continues to be a living, evolving form of communication, reflecting the endurance of Irish culture, Irish history, Irish heritage, and the spirit, the soul of Ireland, Teanga. So Gaeilge is not just a means of communication either. It is a carrier of this culture, this history, this identity. And that was actually where I took my thesis with Ogham, like trying to trace the place of Ogham in the development of Irish identity post-colonisation. And through the periods of Irish language, from primitive to modern Irish, as mentioned, they're all documented and accessible. We have many, many resources for the study of Irish, for, again, tracing the history and the heritage that we have within this language. And you get resources like the Dictionary of the Irish Languages digital version. So that's at dil.ie. And this accessibility to Old and Classical Modern Irish, alongside the teaching of Modern Irish in a standardised form, enriches anybody who wants to understand this part of Ireland's history and heritage. The language's survival against the backdrop of historic pressures that are pretty unique, again, this perfect storm that's pretty unique in Ireland. Other places have elements of it for sure. It's not a competition, right? But everything was against us here. Everything was against the survival of this language, of this history, of this culture, of this heritage. And somehow here we are. So this signifies not only this cultural resilience and stubbornness maybe of Irish people, but also this deep-rooted connection to Irish identity. And I would even go so far as to say that our souls feel it. Our souls connect to the language and understand that this language that I'm speaking to you, this Berla, this mouth language here, is not what expresses my soul. Even how, knock on my microphone, I'm getting very enthusiastic, obviously. Even how Irish people have taken the English language, which was put upon us, and twisted it and turned it into our own forms, our own syntax in Hiberno English, our unique expression. When we were forced to express with the Irish language, we still retain those elements. With the English language, we still retain those elements of the Irish language within that forced structure. All of this is a testament to the deep-rooted connection of the language within the expression of Irish identity, of who we are as a people. So, and again, we have this like post-colonial trauma still, and, part of Ireland is still colonized. So we're not even completely post-colonial on the island, but there is this trauma still. There is this lack of confidence among speakers. And despite all of this, we are still in a revival currently. We have nearly 1.8 million people reported to have some ability in Irish as of the last census data that we have available. And there's efforts at grassroots and governmental levels to increase daily usage, to foster a greater appreciation of what is, at the end of the day, one of Europe's oldest living languages. So this revival reflects this like collective effort to overcome the historical obstacles and rejuvenate Gaeilge's role in contemporary Irish life and beyond. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it. And the Ogham, as I mentioned, was developed to express the Irish language. So one of the questions that we would also get is, should I be using Old Irish or Modern Irish? And given this enduring presence and this evolving culture and heritage that we still have with regard to the Irish language, I would say don't go back to primitive Irish. Don't, think that you have to learn Gaeilge or Old Irish. Use the Ogham to express the sounds of modern Irish. And I know that that's an extra step for all you Anglo-centric people who are only used to thinking about expression in English. But if you really want to connect to the soul of Ireland, to what the Ogham alphabet is really and essentially about, then you will make an effort with the Irish language and you will understand. If you don't understand, then maybe the Ogham isn't for you. I'm just saying. But if you do understand, then you will make the effort. And at the Ogham Academy, we have so many resources. We have a whole blog. We have, my thesis is available over there if anybody wants to read it. We have a mailing list which gives out resources all the time. We have courses coming on stream probably later in 2024. I have a couple of other projects that I need to get, but currently there's, my thesis is over there and there's a group, but there's nothing for sale. I'm not trying to sell you anything. I am doing this for the love of Ogham, for the love of the Irish language, for the accurate and authentic representation of this expression of my soul. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. So we do have a free guide to the Ogham that's available that has the letter names, and you can download it, you can print it, and the link to that will be available below. So make sure that you check that out. It's my free gift to you. And this history of survival against all the odds and the significance of the Irish language as a bearer of Irish identity are really why I continue in my ongoing efforts to revive and promote and highlight the language's importance within the context of Ogham, but also within the context of just Irish heritage and culture. Gaeilge, when you listen to Gaeilge, even if you don't understand it, when you listen to Gaeilge, you will feel something. If you have Irish ancestry, you will feel something. If you don't have Irish ancestry, maybe you it's not lesser, but maybe you don't have like traceable bloodlines to Ireland. Maybe you have spiritual ancestry. Maybe you have social ancestry, and the language will still sing to you. So if you listen to it, then you will feel that connection as well. It is a beautiful language which continues to captivate hearts and minds to this day. And I hope that all of the resources that are coming on stream now, they're all over YouTube. There's new schools starting up. There's all sorts of resources that were not available even 5 years ago. So again, we have resources on the Ogham Academy blog. We have that Ogham free guide to download. That's a resource. But through these dedicated resources and community support, again, we have a members group at the Ogham Academy. Gaeilge's voice will continue to echo, very much alive, preserving Ireland's rich heritage for future generations. I have grandchildren. I want them to know the Irish language. I want them to speak the Irish language. I want it to be normal. I want there to be no shame in it, no restriction, no guilt, no any of that. I want that to cleanse itself through the generations as we continue to work with Irish and express our souls in this way. So thank you for listening to my passionate microphone knocking over rant. I hope that this video finds you well, and slán go fóill. I will see you next time.